Planning on buying a home in Boston in 2025? Well, I get it. Boston's a wonderful city full of opportunity, but it is a market that is competitive, it is fast-paced, it is easy to make a mistake if you're not prepared. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or maybe been down that path a couple times before, this video is going to reveal the top mistakes to avoid in 2025 so you don't feel like you're overpaying, missing out, or just generally feeling overwhelmed. So this video is going to be packed full of tips for your success. So let's get into it. Hello, future Bostonians. Hello, future homeowners. Again, if you're looking to buy a home here in Boston in 2025, you're in the right place. Boston's market is thriving, it's exciting, but it's not without its challenges. So again, whether you're a first-time home buyer or maybe a seasoned veteran, there are common mistakes to avoid to make sure you're not costing yourself time, energy, stress, money. So again, we're going to go through the mistakes to avoid here in 2025 so you can go out there and purchase your dream home with confidence and without the stress. Let's dive on in. The first big mistake that people make when moving to Boston is not understanding the local market. Boston is a city full of distinct neighborhoods, each with its own price point, each with its own level of demand, and each with its own overall vibe and atmosphere. It's easy to get excited about a neighborhood without fully grasping how the market is performing there and really what the inventory might be in those neighborhoods. Maybe you're looking for a single family home with a yard, and there are areas of Boston you're just not going to find that. Maybe you're looking for a luxury condo, then maybe you're looking towards the Seaport or South Boston. Those areas seeing a lot of development as of. You also want to know about areas and neighborhoods where they're more affordable but still offering great potential. Places like Dorchester or East Boston, just to name a few. So whenever you start looking for a home, it's essential to gather as much information as possible about the current market trends in your preferred neighborhood. You want to know about the sale prices, what the prices are, the price ranges are that fit your budget, whether there's a lot of competition for homes, and frankly there is in pretty much everywhere in Boston right now. Understanding when new listings come to market during the course of the calendar year, the average amount of time on market, all of this information is going to help you plan your search and your strategy more effectively. It's also going to maybe prevent you from falling in love with a property that's outside your price range. So it's always good to take this data and work with a local realtor so they can crunch the information, help you analyze it. They know the market inside and out. They can guide you through the ins and outs of specific neighborhoods and make sure you're finding a place that fits your criteria, your preferences, and your overall budget. Another big mistake that people make is not getting pre-approved for your mortgage before starting your home search. In a competitive market like Boston, it is essential to get that pre-approval. First off, any offer, not only in Boston, but really anywhere in the country, isn't going to be seriously considered without that pre-approval. Secondly, getting pre-approved allows you to exactly know how much you can afford for a loan and what your budget is going to be. I can't tell you how many clients I've worked with who are excited to start your home search. They want to put off their pre-approval, like, let's start searching and then we'll get our pre-approval later. Then all of a sudden, they find a home that they fall in love with. They don't have their pre-approval ready to submit an offer, nor do they even know whether they can afford that property because they haven't gone through this important step of the process. So if you're serious about the home search, if you're serious about finding that home, you need to get your pre-approval. Now, that being said, the pre-approval process is a pretty simple one and a pretty quick one at this point. You're going to talk to a lender or mortgage broker. They can sometimes turn around a pre-approval in less than 24 hours if needed. But you're going to give them your proof of income, your pay stubs, your tax returns, your credit score. They're going to take all that and examine your debt to income ratio, your credit history, your employment stability, and they're going to determine what size the mortgage you can afford. You're going to get a pre-approval letter, and that's going to accompany any offer moving forward. Take time to shop around different lenders and different mortgage brokers. They offer different rates, different fees, different programs. I often hear from people who are nervous about getting pre-approved because they heard that their credit score is going to take a hit. And that is true to an extent. When you do get pre-approved, your credit score is going to drop about 5 to 7 points, but it will go back up after a few months. More importantly, after that initial pre-approval, you can talk to any other lenders and not get hit again. It's not like every time you talk to a lender or a mortgage broker, that credit score is going down. It's the first time, and then you have a 30-day window after that. So make sure you're taking the time to explore your lenders, explore your mortgage brokers, what they are offering. Be sure to factor in closing costs, mortgage insurance, and also do not make any big financial changes or purchases before you close. The lender is going to take one last look at your finances and credit history before you close, and they see that has changed drastically because you purchased a big furniture set or a car. they may not go through with the mortgage and you may not be able to close. So get pre-approved as soon as possible so you can start your home search and avoid those big purchases before you finally own that home. When buying a home in Boston, one of the most common mistakes is not taking into account the hidden costs of buying and maintaining a home. It's easy to focus just on the purchase price, but there's so many other expenses to take into consideration. One of the first expenses buyers sometimes don't always account for, and it's a big one, closing costs. Those typically range about 2 to 4% of the purchase price. It includes fees for title insurance, attorneys, appraisers, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure you're taking closing costs into account because it is the first big expense on top of the purchase price. Property tax is also something to take into consideration, important to take into consideration. Boston's property taxes vary from neighborhood to neighborhood, city to city. And while a tax rate or annual tax percentage may seem low on paper, remember that when you buy the home, the value most likely is going up from the previous purchase. And so the taxes will as well. So make sure you take into consideration that higher tax rate or that higher tax amount. In addition to taxes and closing costs, it's essential to budget for home maintenance. Older homes, especially here in New England, can require frequent or significant repairs or upgrades, whether it's fixing the plumbing, replacing the roof, maybe a large yard that needs a lot of landscaping. Over time, these costs add up. And being prepared and not saving money for a rainy day can lead to undue stress. And all of a sudden, you can't afford this house because of the ongoing maintenance costs, not only daily, monthly, but for the big projects that may pop up down the road. So make sure you're taking into account the closing costs, the taxes, and what the cost will be to maintain the house over time. All right, next up, and let's get into it because I need to talk about home inspections. Now, home inspections and home inspection contingencies have a lot of stigma attached to them over the last couple of years in the seller's market. Boston is no exception. I always tell my clients, get the home inspection whenever possible. It is important. It is very important to get a complete picture of this home you're going to be buying, what the issues are, what you need to plan for, what you need to budget for what is going to be one of, if not the most significant financial transaction. A home inspection is a chance to identify potential issues, major ones potentially, like structural damage, electrical issues, plumbing issues, maybe mold. And a good home inspector is going to examine everything from the roof to the foundation, provide you with a comprehensive list of the condition of the home. And it may seem like a lot. They are very good at their job. They are being paid to find the issues you need to be aware of and what you need to plan for. So it seems like a laundry list. That is okay. It's just to make you aware and give you the information you need. Now, if major problems are found, you can either ask the seller to handle those costs or those repairs, or perhaps negotiating a lower purchase price to help cover those costs, or maybe get some closing credits as well. Maybe the issues are too much. It's just time to walk away from this one. Now, I will say in the seller's market, in a competitive situation, it can be tough to include that contingency or include that inspection and get that offer accepted. But whenever possible, have that home inspection. Again, you need to get a complete picture of the home you're buying, and so you can plan and budget accordingly. When buying a home, it's important to stick to your budget, of course, but it's also important not to be too rigid with your budget. You need to be flexible. Boston's real estate market is competitive. It is at times unpredictable. So you want to build some flexibility into your budget, not be too rigid. What does that mean? That doesn't mean stretching beyond your means with your budget. It means, and this is why getting your pre-approval is so important, it means once you figure out your budget, setting some flexibility into that budget. Why? Because if you start searching at the height of your pre-approval, at the max of your budget, and you find yourself in a competitive offer situation, you don't have any room to maneuver. You're at your ceiling right away. Whereas if you search maybe a little bit below what that ceiling is, that top number is, you build in some flexibility. So if you find yourself in a multiple offer situation, you have some room to maneuver, you have options. Make sure you're also looking for maybe same properties, different neighborhoods. A 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom luxury condo in Back Bay or Beacon Hill, it's gonna be probably the height of everyone's budget. Whereas that same condo in Dorchester or East Boston or Alston could provide the same amenities, but at a lower price point. So make sure you're considering same property, different neighborhoods. You could save yourself some money as well. But if you're worried about your budget, worried about going beyond your means, make sure you're talking to your realtor, make sure you're talking to your financial advisor if you have one, so you can make sure that you're staying within your budget, building that flexibility that could be the difference between getting that home or not. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the home search and finding your dream home, but rushing into making an offer can definitely lead to buyer's regrets. In a competitive market like here in Boston, there's pressure to act quickly. Offer deadlines are still very much a thing. So I say, unless the offer deadline dictates otherwise, take the night at least. Make sure you're feeling tomorrow morning the same way you feel about the property right now. Don't let the excitement cloud your judgment at the time. Take the step back, take the time to consider whether the property meets your needs, and of course, the price is right. It's within your budget. Talk to realtors about potential issues with the property, the neighborhood, the pros and cons of all those and the things in between. And if you're feeling unsure and opportunity allows, take a little break, take a couple days, maybe go back and see that home for a second showing in a couple days. Sometimes that's the thing you need for a fresh perspective to make sure you're not talking yourself into the home or maybe talking yourself out of the home. And remember, buying a home is a significant long-term investment. It's important to make a decision that aligns with your financial needs, your property needs, and your long-term goals. So don't feel pressured into making an offer too quickly. There will be other homes, I guarantee it. You need to make sure the situation and the home is right for you. Now, while it's easy to get caught up in the here and now of buying your dream home, it's always wise to consider the long-term value and investment of your home. Boston's real estate market, we're very fortunate here. We've had steady appreciation annually, 3 to 5% year after year after year. It's been years, decades since the home prices last dropped in Boston. In fact, you have to go back to 2008 during the international housing crisis to find the last time Boston home prices dropped. During the pandemic, they spiked like they did in so many parts of the country, but they never dropped back down. We've just returned to that steady appreciation of 3 to 5%. So it's great that Boston's market kind of has that home value increase almost baked into the works here. But you also want to look at development projects, infrastructure projects in and around the neighborhood of this home you're purchasing. Basically, you just want to make sure things like they're not going to build a highway over your home or a bridge over your home in the next couple of years. I think of West Medford, where the MBTA or the train system recently built a stop, and you have seen home values around that train station stop rise over the last couple of years since that stop has come in. So again, pay attention to developments, pay attention to the projects. You want to make sure maybe that your home is also close to public transit options, commercial space, retail space, grocery stores. All of these factors can make your home more valuable, not only in the current day, but over time as well. Make sure you're taking the home's condition into consideration. We're in New England here, a lot of old colonial homes. Some of them need extensive repairs, renovations, or upgrades. That's fine to buy the homes if you're going to make those renovations, upgrades, and see that value increase. Maybe it's worth looking at a fixer-upper or a home with strong bones where you can put in those minor upgrades or minor renovations and see the home value increase even more than that standard appreciation. But again, while it's great to purchase your dream home right now, also make sure you're taking a look at the long-term investment value. One mistake that people make, and they never really think of it, is not overlooking the tax incentives and assistance programs that can help make the home buying process more affordable. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned veteran again, or you've been through the process before, there are a variety of programs that can help you save money, thousands of dollars. In Massachusetts, there are several first-time home buying programs, including down payment assistance and grants that can help lower the barrier for entry into home ownership. So what might have been a pipe dream is actually a very real goal that can happen for you. These programs are designed to help buyers who maybe don't have enough saved for a down payment or to assist with closing costs. As a first-time home buyer, you may also qualify for favorable tax breaks or favorable interest rates, mortgage insurance, property taxes, so on and so forth. There's so many programs out there, so much to explore that can help save you money. Additionally, some properties in Boston may qualify for tax saving opportunities based on age, location, whether a part of a revitalization project. So talk with your realtor, talk with your financial advisor, see what you can take advantage of in terms of these programs, because taking advantage of these programs, again, can help lower that barrier to home ownership, save you thousands of dollars, especially if you're just starting out. Another mistake as it pertains to planning for the future as opposed to the near term or the immediate future, because it's not just about what your home's value might look like in the future, but what about what your life and home itself is going to look like in the future? Do you have a home that's going to adapt with you? Because let's be honest, your life, your lifestyle going to change over the years most likely. Are you planning to start a family? Are you maybe going to be working from home? Are you changing jobs? Are you going to retire? Do you have access to the things within your home and around your home that's going to evolve as your lifestyle and your daily routine. So look for some homes that have flexibility built into them. Maybe you don't need an office right now or an extra room for an office right now. Maybe you will down the line. Maybe you'll need that room for visiting family, maybe a growing family. Maybe you need additional outdoor space because of those reasons as well. Also consider how close your property is to essential services. Do you need to be close to public transportation, or will you need to be close to public transportation? Healthcare facilities, schools. Is your commute still manageable if your job changes at some point? Proximity and these amenities too can save you a lot of time and stress as you move through the years to come. Additionally, think about the neighborhood itself. Is it an area you see yourself living in for years to come? Is it going to suit you as your life, your lifestyle, your family? Everything grows and evolves moving forward. So just make sure you avoid the mistake of focusing only on the here and now. Invest in a home that will continue to evolve with you and your needs as you move along through the years. So the final mistake to avoid here is not having a solid plan for the closing process. The closing process is where a lot of homeowners get tripped up, and really the process starts way before the closing itself, because a lot of home buyers think you just show up, sign your autograph a bunch of times, sign that paperwork, you got your keys, and that's it. But the reality of the situation is that closing is a complex process. It's got a lot of steps and they need careful attention. And it begins really way before closing itself. You want to find the right attorney who's going to help make sure that your title and deed are fault-free, issue-free, free from liens, so you can move forward with your home purchase without any problems. You're going to find the right lender that's going to go through the underwriting process and the pre-approval process in a timely and efficient manner. Issue that mortgage commitment in a timely fashion as well. You're going to make sure your insurance is in place. And you as a home buyer, it's incumbent upon you to make sure that any paperwork, any task you need to get done, gets done at the right time in a timely fashion again. Any delays in what you have to do can cause delays for the attorney, the lender, and so forth. Can push back closing, can cost you money as well. So making sure that everything in place, the timeline, the documents, and everything's being hit as it should be hit during the process. You're gonna have a final walkthrough. If you don't know what that is, it's your final walkthrough, literally, of your home to make sure that everything is in place. You don't wanna make sure just that everything is in place, but maybe any previously agreed upon improvements or repairs, those are completed. Making sure that the condition of the home is as you expected. So the movers haven't accidentally taken out a window or a chunk of the door jamb as the old owners were moving out. So when you finally sit down, you have all these things in place, and you sit down in the closing table, you can proceed stress-free, worry-free, and it will go as smooth as possible, ensuring you get your keys to your Boston home without any last-minute surprises. So there you have it, the top mistakes to avoid when moving to Boston in 2025. If you take the time to understand the market, budget carefully, and avoid all these common mistakes, you're gonna be in the best possible position to make the best informed decision, a confident purchase. Remember, buying a home is one of the most important decisions of your life, and with the right preparation, you can make it exciting and certainly a rewarding journey. So if you're ready to start that home buying journey, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to help you guide through the process, answer any questions you might have, and help you find the perfect home here in Boston. So thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see your new home soon.